Hi, I'm Rita. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Life Worth Reading. And welcome to my October TBR video. In this video, I'll be telling you all about all the books that I'll be reading this October, even though that as I'm filming this, I am a week into October. This is a little bit late for me, but it just happened this way. So we're still gonna talk about all the books that I'm hoping to read in October, even though I have a lot of books for university to read and I have a lot of vlog ideas that I'm not really going to tell you about, but these are books that I'm hoping to get done this month. And you can tell me what you think of the TBR. If you've read any of the books yourself, any reading plans that you have this month, that would be incredible. And without further ado, let's just get into the TBR. Firstly, I do want to talk about the dud of the month, which is a book that I'm currently reading and the book that is delaying all of my other video plans and all of my other reading plans, and that is The Life and Opinions of Tristram Shandy Gentleman by Lawrence Stern. This is a book that I'm reading for my English literature class, and it has been a journey, I'll tell you that much. This book is ginormous. All of this is more or less like 800 pages, but the actual story itself is 580, let's say. And of those 580, I am 224 into it. So I'm almost halfway through with this book and I have been just struggling. The entire section is just context notes and editor's notes on things that I need to know to understand the book. So it's just taking me a long time to read. And this is basically about Tristram Shandy. This is written in the first person and narrated by this character who is attempting to tell his entire life story. And this was published in real time as sets of like 2-volume sets every year. And so Lawrence Stern is attempting to write a life story of a character as that character, if that makes any type of sense. And what we realize is that it's literally impossible to tell such a linear story and to tell the life and opinions of a person, because we always digress and we always talk about other things and we need to explain context to certain elements that make a character and little stories that just have to be understood in order for this life story to make sense. And so pretty much Stern just plays with the structure of a novel and he throws all those storytelling rules out the window and he's just trying to tell his Tristram Shandy story, and it's literally impossible. Like, I'm on the 4th volume now and Tristram himself hasn't even been born yet, so he's writing this in the future looking at his past and he's just telling the story of his birth, but we haven't even gotten to the birth yet. So it's just it's a little bit frustrating to read. I have an exam later on in the month about this book, so I really need to be finishing it, and it has been just taking time away from other books that I want to read. But I'm hoping that this week I'll finish it. I'm going to put a lot of effort into doing that. And I'm going to be trying my hardest to actually finish this book so I can start to read other things more, because this has been very frustrating. But yeah, this is the book that I'm currently reading. And although it's a little bit boring, it is on my October TBR. And I'm hoping to finish it this week of October. So next up, we have a little thriller, a little mystery, or is it a thriller? I think it's a thriller, and that is A Kind Worth Killing by Peter Swanson. I picked this book up this summer from like a little free library that I found at the beach, and they were just giving away the copy, and I've heard such amazing things about this book. Everyone rates this thriller super highly. Not all of Peter Swanson's books have been rated this highly lately, but this one, I understand that is amongst his best. And you know what? It's October, right? It's a month for thrillers. It's been a long time since I've read a thriller. I usually don't have any physical ones. I think this is the only physical thriller that I own. And I haven't been really active on SCRIBD or on my Kindle lately. So this is a thriller that I'm going to attempt to read this month. It is a little bit long for the genre. This is 400 pages. But I am going to try to read it this month. I think I'm going to include it in a vlog that I'm planning, like a thriller reading vlog. And let me know if you've read it and what you thought of it, because I'm really interested in knowing what you tell me. I know that this is about two people, like a couple that meet at the airport. Not a couple like romantic, but just a man and a woman. And I think that they plan his wife's murder. So he tells her all about how his wife has been unfaithful to him and how he darkly kind of wants her dead. And she's like, okay, let me help you with that. Let's be buddies. Let me help you carry out this murder. And I think that obviously there's a lot of twists and turns, I'm assuming, because it is a thriller. But I'm excited about this premise, and I'm just excited. I know I'm very late to this game. This book is quite old. I know I'm late to the game, but I am excited about figuring out what happens in it. Next up, we have a library book that I picked up earlier this month, and I have Piranesi by Susanna Clarke. This is a book that I have been looking forward to reading for a long time now. I know this is about Piranesi, a character from Greek mythology, and he lives in the house, which is something that we don't quite understand what the house is, and we think that he's there alone, but I don't really quite understand what this book is really about, and I think that that's the point, maybe. I think the point is to not really understand what it is about until you are reading it, until you're in it. So I know this is a very acclaimed book, and it is short, which helps me out a lot. This is 250 pages or something like that. And so that helps me out a lot this month, because clearly I'm in the trenches of reading this month. So a shorter book is really helping me out, and it does have like fall vibes. I don't know how or why, I'm not going to tell you, but for me it does have the fall vibes. So I'm excited to get started on this one. The other book that I do have from my library is The Anthropocene, reviewed by John Green. This is translated, and this is a nonfiction essay collection about humanity and points of interest that John Green finds and wants to write about. And I've heard wonderful things about this book. I think it's just going to be a great, I don't know, a great slow read, like just reading a chapter or an essay from time to time. It just sounds like something that I'm going to enjoy reading slowly throughout the month, and I haven't read nonfiction in a little bit. So I am really looking forward to picking this one up. I'm going to confess, I've never read a John Green before. It was really popular when I was a teenager, but I just never really found the appeal in it. So I've never even read like The Fault in Our Stars or anything like that. So this will actually be my first John Green book, which is exciting because I feel like I've been missing out. But I think that the books that he used to write are not really my style. So I think that this will be much more up my alley, and I'm excited to give it a try. Next up, we have a book. I'm going to be spoiling a vlog for you, but I think that it's important to tell you that I'm reading this book. I'll be reading Truly Devious by Marion Johnson. I have recently acquired this book. I acquired the entire trilogy. I know that there are more, but I acquired the first three. And this I know is about Stevie Bell. Is it Bell? And she is part of the Ellingham Academy, which is a famous private school in which each student gets to explore their own interests and build their curriculum around their interests and their strong suits. And I know that our character Stevie is quite interested in crime solving and just murder mysteries and criminology and all of that. And I know that she is quite interested in a specific kidnapping that occurred in Ellingham Academy, I think a few decades before. It is a cold case, and I don't know, I'm excited. I know there are two POVs. I actually tried reading this book a couple of years ago on SCRIBD, and I DNF'd it a little bit early. I just wasn't really feeling the vibe, but I think that in having it physically will really help me to like it. I know that it's mixed media. A lot of people have a lot of acclaim for this trilogy and a lot of love for it, and if there's a time to read this book, it is this month. So I am looking forward to it. I am excited to see what I think and what I theorize will happen. And I do have a question though. If you made it this far into the video, if you're watching currently, let me know if you would prefer a spoiler-free reading vlog or a spoiler-filled reading vlog. Like, should I have enough people read this book for me to actually dive in and tell you the things as they are happening spoilery? Or should I just keep it like a spoiler-free reading vlog and review? Let me know if you have any thoughts on that. I highly appreciate it. And finally, I want to read a book that I know will just warm my heart. And that is holox, The Cure, The Hunt for Morgan Crow. This is the third book in the Nevermore series. Like, I don't even want to talk about this. The fourth book was just pushed back a year. Guys, I don't even want to talk about it, but this has become one of my favorite series so far. It is such a cute middle grade. I love Morgan Crow. I love this world. I love what Jessica Thousand did with it. And I have read the first two books this year, and I acquired this one, and I am so excited about reading it, even though I am extremely sad about the fourth book, Silverpox, I think, having been pushed back 1 year. What am I supposed to do? 1 year. This is about Morgan Crow, a child. I think she has been cursed, and on the evening as she turns 12, I think she's taken away to this magical school in this magical world by a man named Jupiter Thorne, I think. Jupiter Thorne, is that it? Or am I mixing that up with Juniper and Thorn by Ava Reid? I know that he's called Jupiter, but I don't think it's Thorn. And this book is just about her and the found family that she creates there, and it's so cute, it's so nice, and I am just obsessed with it, and I know that it'll warm my heart and it'll do me good to read a middle grade this month, so that's what I'll be reading. And finally, just so we can spice up this video, I thought that I would pick something from my little TBR jar. I used to do numbers, but I recently changed up and I actually wrote the title on each of this so I didn't have to look in my reading journal. And so I thought that I would pick a book from here, and I don't know if it'll be on theme for October. I don't have a lot of fall books, so if I did get one, that would be really lucky. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I am going to pick a book from my TBR jar, and we'll see what I have to read this month. Okay, I have picked one, and I can see that the title is quite long, so let's see what this is. Oh my god, why is the title so long? The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. Oh my god. Literally, I was about to film a fall TBR because I do want to read this, but I thought about reading it in November. Let me go get it. Give me a second. I was going to read this in November because the movie comes out in November. Oh my god, I have to pick another book because I was going to read this in November. I have like a reading vlog in mind. I was going to reread The Hunger Games, like a whole thing planned. This book is ginormous. Okay, let me think. Because I had other October-y things to read first. Okay, I am going to pick another little paper and we'll see what happens because I did have like very specific plans for reading this in November. So let's see what else I can pick. Oh my god, I just dropped it. Wait a second. Okay. Oh my god, why can't I open this? I have no idea what that says. How Beautiful We Were by Imbola Mbue. Okay, this is a book that I just picked. And I don't know what to do because on the one hand I had such specific plans for reading this in November, but it's a book that came out first in terms of my TBR jar, and this is just such a summary read. I honestly don't know what to do. I was not expecting this. I honestly don't know what to do. maybe if I start reading it like right at the end of October, but the end of October is Halloween. And I was planning a few things for Halloween. Oh my god, I have no idea what to do. Okay, I think that this has to stay. But it really just messed up my entire plans, if I'm going to be really honest with you guys. Alright, so here are all the books that I'm planning to read in October. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. I also had a few other vlogs planned, so we'll see what happens. But we have The Life and Opinions of Tristram Shandy Gentleman, Pure and Essie by Susanna Clarke, The Kind Worth Killing by Peter Swanson, Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson, The Anthropocene Reviewed by John Green, Holox, The Hunt for Morgan Crow by Jessica Townsend, and This Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Susanna Collins. This is such an intense TBR, like this is so heavy. What am I doing with my life? Okay, well, what an overwhelming month I'm going to have. Please do let me know, what are your plans for October? Are you doing any specific readathon? Are you doing any theme? Spooky books only? Horror books only? Let me know what you're doing this month, because I always love to know. And if you have any reading vlogs planned, that is amazing. And here's to hoping that we can achieve all we want to achieve this month, because it is going to be a little bit hard, but we are going to hope for the best, and we are going to have the best reading time in October. In any case, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more bookish content, and I'll see you in my next video. I hope you have a nice day, and always remember that life is worth reading.